You know, it's because of people like Jennifer and being able to be a strong woman. We want to vote for people that have conservative ideals and people that have that. And when I was thinking about conservative ideals and when we were trying to think of people that embody strength, embody MAGA, embody keeping America great, it's very hard to beat people like Sabine Durden. Sabine Durden is the epitome, is the gold standard of what it is to be women for Trump. She has experienced personal loss and personal success and overcome mountains of challenges to be able to be here right now. Sabina, it is an honor to have you. You are an angel mom amongst us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Sabina, would you please take a few minutes and, as our keynote speaker, give us the story of that very special individual that you are wearing and your story. Here you go, ma'am. Time is yours.
I give you about 2 hours of Romeo and Juliet in German, okay? No. First of all, I'm very honored to be here, and what a welcome. I'm known as Dom's mom. The guy right here in that picture, that was Dominic. That was my only child. He called himself German Chocolate because he was half black, half German. He also spoke German. I came from Germany with his dad. I had to apply for paperwork. I had to go through all the channels to come to the United States. I received a little card that was a resident alien card. And I was so proud to carry that. It didn't bother me. And then I knew I wanted to become a part of this great country, and I applied for citizenship. It took me 6 years, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of paperwork, but it was worth it. And we moved to California, Riverside, Southern California, and my son, he just excelled in everything. He was 10 years old by the time we came over, and great student, 4.2, 4.3, great future. And with time, my marriage dissolved. 25 years, I got divorced. Dominic and I became housemates. So we lived the last 10 years of his life together, riding motorcycles and going on vacation. He was a mama's boy, like a proud one too. And I was a Democrat. My ex was a Democrat. I didn't care about politics. It was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't think I had a voice. I didn't think it mattered. And then the marriage wasn't all that great, so there was another reason why I didn't think I mattered. I didn't think I could make a difference. And being Dominic's mom was my biggest accomplishment and my greatest joy. So fast forward, Dominic and I living in the house. I'm dating this wonderful guy named Anthony. And we're going to a family reunion to Atlanta. And it was July 11th, 2012. My son took us to the airport. And I hugged him, I kissed him, I fell into him, and he just swirled me around. And see you later, Mom, have a great time. And I watched him walk to his car. And I didn't know that that was the last time I would ever see him alive. And I share that because people take time for granted. They take each other for granted. And I always say, you don't have to be friends with everybody, family, but make it known to the ones that you do love. And so I don't have regrets. He knew how I felt. I knew how he felt. We showed it, we shared it. So we get to Atlanta, and it was very early in the morning, and we went to a Waffle House, and we walk out, and all of a sudden I lost all feeling in me. I just dropped. Later on, I realized it was the exact moment my son was killed. At 5:45 in the morning, as he was riding to work on his motorcycle to the Sheriff's Dispatch Center for the Riverside Sheriff's Department. And a guy turned in front of him and hit him so hard that it killed him instantly and threw him into a wall. He laid on the sidewalk. And there were two guys behind him in cars, two Marines, and they stopped. And one caught the guy running away, and the other one stayed with Dominic. The first responder showed up, the first cop. It was Dominic's best friend, because Dominic was working on becoming a motorcycle officer. He was also a pilot, so he worked on becoming a helicopter pilot for the sheriff's department. Then the fire department showed up and they couldn't deal with it. It was their friend. It was the station he spent so many hours at. They had to call highway patrol and they took over. Well, as you know on TV, when you watch a movie and it's that call, I'm so sorry to inform you, your husband, wife got killed. When you get that call, nothing prepares you for that. I screamed, we dropped. I didn't believe it. I thought he was playing this horrible prank because he was a prankster. So we're flying back to California, and I needed to go where my son drew his last breath, and it didn't make sense. I still didn't know what it was. I knew it was an accident. And while I'm trying to remember where I was, who I am, what day it is, what year it is, after a while, the DA and so forth, they came and told me they got us, they'd take care of us, only to lie to us. They didn't tell us it was an illegal. A cop whispered in my ear, he said, you need to check on this. And it turned out to be an illegal from Guatemala, 2 felonies, 1 deportation. He came back, he had a DUI. The judge gave him probation. No license, no insurance. He got his second DUI while on probation. The same judge gave him a slap on the hand again, gave him probation, let him go. And 5 weeks later, he killed my child. The guy was charged with a misdemeanor without gross negligence, and the judge told me in a full courtroom that he made a deal with the defendant, so, you know, he had to honor his word, and he gave him 9 months and 5-year probation. And the guy served 35 days. Each one of us, if we drive without a license and just hit somebody and they scrape their knee, we pay fines, we will be locked up, we'll pay a high price. This guy got 35 days, walked out. And because I started getting real angry, this guy took my best friend, my only child. I'll never be a grandmother, I'll never be a mother-in-law. I said, I'm gonna fight. I promised my son the last time I kissed him in the casket, I told him, I said, I got you. Like I had you for 30 years. I taught you right. You've been doing right. I'm gonna do right by you. And I got loud. The media didn't come around anymore. They started disappearing. Nobody wanted to talk to me. And I didn't know where to go. But I found out that the guy was in a detention center in the desert. And every week, my fiance and I, we went to that detention center and sat there for hours to let him know I'm not going anywhere. This SOB gonna be deported. And I'm going to be at the airport waving him off. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So it took 1.5 years to get him deported. And I wasn't feeling it anymore. My life changed. I changed. My family was destroyed. I have no family here. My mom, my sister are in Germany. I contemplated suicide. I knew exactly what to do so I could make it look like an accident so poor Anthony, who had no clue, would get the life insurance. And then candidate Trump came down the escalator, and I'm walking through my living room, and I look and I see him. I'm like, oh, is he doing another Apprentice? So I kept doing my stuff, and all of a sudden, I heard him say he's running for president. I stopped, and then he mentioned the magic words, illegal immigration. And it still gets to me because that was the moment I knew I couldn't kill myself. I still had work to do. I didn't know I was going to end up at the RNC or at the White House or in the Oval Office or speaking at rallies. I had no clue. I used to be deathly afraid of this. You would never know. But I knew God sent me that sign that day, not to take myself out. And I started becoming louder and louder. And then a couple of weeks later, I got a call from an undisclosed number. And the guy says, by the way, Donald Trump would like to meet you in Los Angeles. Yeah, right. And I hung up. I thought it was a prank. Like I said, Dominic was the biggest prankster. And I'm looking, I said, you got me good. But the guy called back. It was Stephen Miller, and he called back. He said, no, he really wants to meet you. I said, oh my. Okay. So we went, and it was 3 other families, and we sat in a room with him. It was just him and us. There were no cameras. There were no bodyguards. And he listened to us, and he has this gift where when he talks to you, he's right there. He doesn't look past you like a lot of people in D.C. do. They look at you and they're already looking for the next best thing past you. He had us right there, and he listened, and he cried with us, he laughed with us. And he told us, he says, so none of you have been heard, huh? No. Okay, we'll change that. Oh, geez. So we walked in the next room, and it was stacked with media. And so he talked a little bit, and they didn't know what he had done. And he's very spontaneous, as we all know. And he said, okay, go tell your story. I'm like, oh, okay. And I knew right then and there, I felt Dominic behind him. And by the way, I have his ashes always with me in a little locket right here, always with me. I felt him, and he said, go get him, Mom, to show him who that German chick is. And I was so nervous, I thought I was going to start speaking German or have a heavy accent like this, you know, and you don't understand really what I'm saying. But I didn't. It just flowed, and I got to share Dominic, and all of a sudden CNN called, and MSNBC, and I'm like, oh, really? Where were you for the last couple of years? Nobody wanted to hear me. And I knew it would be something different. So I got to share my story, and then that was that, and it slowed down a little bit. And then we're on our way. My fiance and I, we lived in California, and we didn't like it anymore. I had to drive by the same spot where my son took his last breath, and it was killing me. So he asked me if I would like to move to Arkansas. And I'm like, no, I don't want to move to Arkansas, because he showed me the spot. It's really remote. Close to Texarkana, but now that's where I'm living at now. I'm loving it. So we were on our way to Texarkana, to Arkansas, and the phone rang again, and somebody said, we would like for you to be a guest speaker at the RNC. And yeah, right. Did the same thing, and they called back, and then I got to go and spend a week at the Republican National Convention and meet all kind of people. And it's been a roller coaster. It's been I don't even know what to call it. It's like the Oscars and the Emmys and the Grammys, all Christmas, Easter, all packed into one. And I have met the most amazing people. I've met people like Glenn that I've never met in person. I have so many supporters that give me more strength than some of my former friends, because I lost a lot of friends and family by speaking up against illegal immigration and speaking for Donald Trump. And so to be here is such an honor, and it's exciting. I've learned, the biggest lesson was that my best job was being Don's mom. He was an incredible man. The other part is that each one of us has a voice. And whether we think somebody hears it or not, it doesn't matter. We have to stand up for something. And I've been attacked. I've been called N lover and racist and Nazi. Clearly with my son, his color, I'm a racist. I've been threatened. I've been spit at. I've been pushed. when you stand for something that you know makes a difference, it don't matter. You couldn't hurt me any deeper than I already hurt, but we have to get behind our president, and I don't even care if you're Republican, Democrat, because now I'm a Republican. Yep, I couldn't be a Democrat anymore. Oh, no. But it really doesn't matter. It has to be, the love for your family and for your country has to be greater than the dislike of any politician. And now we have him as our president. We gotta be with him and stand with him and fight this, because I don't want anybody else to ever feel this, knowing that you did everything right by being here, you obey the laws, and your child is a good kid and obeys the laws, and then to get taken out by somebody who really didn't give a flying rat's behind about our laws because it was made easy. And I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight until I meet my son again. And I don't want to bore you too long, but
we're with you.
Not boring.
Thank you. I really, my main thing is always this: really live every day without regrets. I couldn't make it, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stand any longer if I would have any regrets about, I wish I would have spent more time with my son, or would have done this. We did. Because everything else isn't as important as your own family. And we have crazies in every family, and you don't have to love them. You can leave them, you know. But the family, the MAGA family is a good example. And I thank you. I appreciate you. I brought bracelets. They are all over the world. It's Domhugs. Domhugs.org is the website. Glenn helped me with it, because if you want to believe it, somebody held my website hostage because I speak for Trump and I speak against illegal immigration. So get you some bracelets, get you a card, and let's get this done together and make sure that not one more Molly, not one more Dominic, not one more Kate. Because there are thousands, and there are people dying right now while I'm speaking because of somebody that's here that wasn't supposed to be. And I don't care, and that's another thing I like to say, I don't care what color you are, I don't care where you're from. If you're illegal, get out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sabine Durden. Take her on. Wonderful. Guys, how do you follow up with that? You know, how do you follow up
Song
with
and a
that?
dance.
Well, you know, that's just all right. I'll move for you, Sabine. I'll move for you, girl. All right. Guys, thank you so much. You know, I don't think there were many dry eyes in the room hearing that story. That is a brutally real assessment of why we fight and why we vote, why we need to get out, why we need to vote for good candidates, why we need to be supportive of MAGA, why we need to vote in MAGA candidates, why we need to be able to think about these crucial midterms that are coming up, and why we cannot afford to sit home. No. We need to be voting. We need to get out. We need to get that vote out. And there are events that are coming up, this next coming week and the week after, that are so important to attend. I would love to see everybody attend these events at South Padre Island. Attend these events for get out the vote and move forward with these things. These are wonderful, wonderful events that we should be attending and supporting. I also wanted to thank Sabina again just one more time. You are a phenomenal, courageous woman. And you are just, you are wonderful, and I thank you so much for attending. One more round of applause, please, for Ms. Sabine Durden. Thank you so much.